So with their confirmed introduction into the manga, La Real, the #1 club in the entirety of Blue Lock based off the real-life Real Madrid, the club that Itoshi Sai belongs to, is actually interested in adding another new Gen 11 to their roster in the form of Michael Kaiser. And obviously since then, my brain has just been going back and forth about all the possibilities about what this duo can mean, but also just La Real themselves. So, obviously me being the crazy motherfucker that I am, I got the wicked idea to do something that I don't really do for you guys, and that is to make a what if scenario. I've gotten a lot of recommendations, and I've thought about doing this in the past, but there's never really a storyline that I could confidently feel I could do better up to this point. But now with a lot being changed and certain things being introduced, I think we can do something really fun here. And obviously, since you guys clicked on today's video, you would know that the what if I'm going to be covering is if La Real was in the Neo Egoist League. Now, trust me when I say this, it's an absolutely batshit scenario to try and not only navigate, but just plan out how you really want to do everything, as well as reworking the way that the Neo Egoist League works realistically. There's going to be a lot of speculation. Obviously, it's a made-up scenario, you dipshits, but, you know, I had a lot of fun making this, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it as much as I did. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy, and let me know down below if you want to see more content like this. And as always, I love you guys. Take it easy. We pick up following Ego's monologue, in which he originally introduced the Blue Lockers to the Neo Egoist League, as well as the clubs participating. France, Italy, England, Germany, Spain. All countries had their respective clubs. However, there was a wrench thrown into Ego's original plan. Wanting to opt for a 5-team round-robin format originally, he was informed that this was no longer going to be possible by the Japanese Football Union. At the end of the day, they do have the final say, and while Ego may be pissed, it isn't his place to complain to the people funding his wild schemes.
You listen here, Jinpachi. Seeing as how I'm the wallet behind all of this, I think making this minor tweak for my sake wouldn't do much harm, no?
Said the JFU fat man.
No, of course not.
Ego replied, obviously annoyed.
Good. I'm glad you made this easy.
Fat Man snarkily scoffed before he was immediately cut off by Ego.
That is, if this is truly your wishes, Chairman.
To this, the Fat Man looked confused. However, before he could even formulate some sort of pathetic response, Ego continued.
You and I both know this has nothing to do with you, Chairman. Never has soccer in this country been more prominent than now, so sure, your enthusiasm is truly believable, but this is something you couldn't possibly think of. I know more than well the current uptrend Japanese football is experiencing. And other than myself and Henri, I know there's only one individual above all else interested in the outcome of this little experiment of mine.
So you know, huh? Guess that makes this easy.
He said in response with an almost relieved grin on his face.
I get its importance to the future of our national team, but do not misunderstand. I will not allow this so-called prodigy of yours to bend the outcomes of his will like some sort of puppet master.
Ego emphasized, only to be silenced by the reply.
Why's that? 'Cause you're afraid he might overshadow your precious gems, is that it? Or no, don't tell me. You're still sour they cut your sorry ass, huh? That's it, isn't it? Same old Jinpachi. Never bowing the knee when he needs to. Wonder if that's why that sociopath Noah...
He was cut off by a ball flying towards his head, one which he barely dodged. But as he went to reply, he was met with a mad Ego, simply laughing maniacally.
Okay, motherfucker, I'll bite. Let that failed little egoist and his precious club come here. Line them up, every single one of them, and I promise I'll knock them all the fuck down. I told you and that entire board of marks who can't tell a pen from a free kick, nah, the entire damn world, that this is the place where football is truly the hottest. But you're wrong about one very important thing. I'm not the same Jinpachi I was back then. This time, I'll single-handedly crush that piece of shit club and make that little pink-haired brat regret coming home in the first place.
The next morning, as the Blue Lockers had just finished choosing their clubs, this stays the same as in canon by the way, they are given the shocking news by Ego of the addition of a new club to the Neo Egoist League.
Due to a bit of unforeseen circumstances, we've gained yet another world-class club. The jewel of Spanish football, La Real. Casting aside their nation's ideologies of freedom and creativity, embracing more of a calculated and manipulative style of play. And in turn, with their country's natural flair and skill with the ball always allows them to be one step ahead of the competition. Have any deja vu yet?
Most of the Blue Lockers stood in confusion, other than Rin and Baro Shoei, stared on at the returning master striker, Leonardo Luna, the scion of Real. Simply looking down on the little Blue Lockers he embarrassed already, he seemed to be laughing at them, almost making fun of them, as he steps into the new battlefield and towards his new opponents, simply stretching his hands out wide and saying this:
Papá es en la casa. Bow, Blue Lock.
This, obviously, triggered most of the Blue Lockers, to which most of them could barely even respond, all besides Isagi, who could say nothing else besides simply smiling and muttering, "I fucking love this place."
Igo continues, similar to the Japan U20 match, at the request of Itoshi Sai yet again, one of my precious Blue Lockers has been chosen to play for Real.
Rin tenses up as he hears this, as he expects his brother to reunite with his little demon. However, nothing could have prepared him for just what happened next.
I'm sorry, kid. I was hoping you could learn from him too.
A statement which caught everyone off guard as they didn't know who he was speaking to, especially Isagi himself, whose body quickly froze as reality set in with him, and a stone-faced Itoshi Sai stood in front of him.
What are you doing standing here like an idiot?
Sai stated, as Isagi simply stood there, almost in horror.
It's you, Yoichi. I choose you. Show me what it is about you that my brother hates so much. Show me what will lead Japan to the World Cup. Prove to me your worth, egoist, and I promise to make you the best striker in the world.
For a second, he was frozen with confusion. However, much like in the beginning of his journey, Isagi's body ran almost instinctively to La Real, to Itoshi Sai. He didn't know why, but he wanted this more than anything. The desire of one who is strong, the recognition of the best. Something foreign to him his entire life, but something he welcomed selfishly with open arms. And while he may be overwhelmingly excited about this turn of events, the same can't be said for the two individuals watching this all go down side by side. The two newest members of Francis Paris X Gen, who both feel like they now have a common enemy, to get revenge on the one who abandoned them both. Otoshi Rin and Shido Ryusei, two sides of the same coin, for the first time in the series, on the same page. They stand there shaking with their own anger, but almost in unison, proclaim, "Kill Isagi Yoichi! Kill Itoshi Sai! Kill La Real!" As an almost evil smile descends upon Ego's face.
Welcome to the Neo Egoist League, the place where football is truly hottest in the world.